Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. News and rumors coming up here on a Monday. First though, if you're brand new to the channel or if you like our videos and have not subscribed, what are you doing? Go down below. It's free, it's easy, it's simple, and I'll get you guys the latest up-to-date Atlanta Falcons news and rumors. Go down below right now. Help us get to 3,000 subscribers here. We're getting closer and closer. Subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button right now. All right, Falcons news and rumors here on a Monday as we jump into the second week in June. And there is some interesting trade news that I want to kind of throw out there, right? And so here's the deal. There's a report happening right now that the Dolphins cornerback Xavien Howard wants out of Miami. There was an ESPN report talking about it last year. It was doubled down by Jeremy Fowler a couple of days ago. And Howard, being one of the best receivers or best corners in the National Football League, I mean, the guy has been an interception machine since leaving Baylor, which, funny enough, I'm wearing the Baylor shirt right now, my alma mater. Since he's left Baylor and went to Miami, he's been really great. Now, the reason he wants out of Miami is that he's upset with his contract. He's making like $2 million less than the other cornerback on the roster, Byron Jones, who, of course, Miami signed in free agency a couple of years ago from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, where does Atlanta come into this? Well, one, the Falcons could use some cornerback help, even though I think I like the idea of Kendall Sheffield or Isaiah Oliver being the opposite of A.J. Terrell. But Pro Football Network put out a list of 5 potential trade destinations for Xavien Howard, and Atlanta was rumored to be one. And so we're going to break that down and show you, how a possible trade could go ahead and happen. So here's the Pro Football Network's James Fragoza on possible Howard going to the Atlanta Falcons. We'll throw that quote up on the screen right now. Quote, the Falcons just collected a second and a fourth round picks from the Titans in exchange for Julio Jones. Thus, they have the draft capital to make a trade happen. They are desperate, have a need at the position, and own the requisite trade pieces. So why isn't this scenario probable? Atlanta, as of this moment, does not have the cap space to offer Howard the contract he wants and deserves. Still, we have seen how teams can manipulate the salary cap and move players to make space, end quote. Makes a good point about the salary cap. We'll talk more about that here in 1 second. First, though, throw up the 5 other teams, or I say the 4 other teams that have been rumored to be interested in Xavien Howard. Pro Football Network lists the Cardinals. Obviously, they lost their superstar cornerback in the offseason. New England is having cornerback issues as they stand right now. Falcons already listed there. Saints and Vikings as well. Now, when you talk about Atlanta and why the possibility of a cornerback could be a very intriguing trade here for Xavien Howard, you have to take a look at not A.J. Terrell, but the other 2 cornerbacks on the roster, Isaiah Oliver and then, of course, Kendall Sheffield. Sheffield, the 4th-round draft pick a couple of years ago. Oliver, again, we call him a veteran now, but still relatively young. It's a young secondary. And so you look at the young secondary and you say, it's actually pretty good. I think they played well at times, and if A.J. Terrell continues to trend upward as he did, being the 16th overall draft pick a couple of years ago, then this can be an even better secondary than what it was last year. The question is, what if you added Howard to the list? What if it was Terrell and Howard on the outside? That could be a very, very good 1-2 punch. It might instantly become one of the best cornerback tandems in the National Football League. Maybe once Terrell becomes a really great cornerback, as he's projected to be, him and Howard together could be stopping receivers in the NFC South for many, many years to come. Howard is a star cornerback. Like, make no mistake, this is probably one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the league. I'd even put him at top 3. He has the size, he has the speed, he has the one-on-one capability, and he has gone up against the best receivers in the National Football League and comes out on top more often than not. I think Jalen Ramsey's a little bit better overall, but Howard is right up there. I mean, the guy is absolutely fantastic. And it's funny because I was at his pro day at Baylor in like 2017, and he was not really a no-name cornerback because Baylor is not known for having good cornerbacks. And watching him at his pro day, I remember being like, this is a guy he's going to get drafted, and he's going to be pretty good because the size is all there. And sure enough, after his pro day that I was there, they went to the draft. He was taken by the Miami Dolphins, and the rest is history. He's been pretty darn good. So, again, the money is the issue here. Right? Obviously, the Julio Jones trade does free up future money, but there's not enough to go ahead and give him the exact contract that he wants. And so take this all with a grain of salt. I think Atlanta should at least make a look, maybe make a phone call if you could get him for a 3rd or 4th round draft pick and then move some money around, maybe, restructure Grady Jarrett's contract. That'd be helpful. You could free up enough money down the line to go ahead and not only trade for Howard, but make him happy in Atlanta. Him and A.J. Terrell together would be a scary, and very interesting duo as well. And so I am for it. They should at least go ahead and pick up the phone. What do you guys think? Should the Falcons trade for Jordan Howard? What do you think? Type 1 down below for yes. If you think no, then type 2 down below for no. Again, if they make the money work, and it's like a 3rd or 4th round draft pick, can't really beat having that good of a cornerback. I would be all for it. Let me know what you guys think right now. Okay, before we go and keep going here, we want to give a quick shout out to all the fathers as Father's Day quickly approaches. Do you have a gift for your dad yet? If you don't, we have you guys covered with our friends at Manscape. So, brand new Lawnmower 4.0 just came out a couple of weeks ago, and it is absolutely fantastic. The closest shave you could possibly have, with also the guard up front. Your dad will thank you for that. New longer lasting battery, different size trimmers as well, and the LED light, and a new charging system at the same time. So it's all there, and it is all for a discounted price right now. Go to manscape.com, use the promo code FALCONS for 20% off your first order plus free shipping, and it'll get there in time for Father's Day if you order quickly. The link will be down below in the description box. Listen, dads do a lot for us. Don't just, shake his hand and grill some burgers with him. You should do that. Wish him happy Father's Day, but also get him a gift as well. And Manscaped is the perfect gift right now. Again, manscaped.com. Promo code is FALCONS. The link will be down below right now in the description box. Jump into some more Falcons news and rumors here on a Monday. We need to get you the latest update at the wide receiver position, because you probably saw about 4 days ago, or maybe a little bit less, over the weekend, Calvin Ridley officially underwent a minor foot procedure with Dr. James Andrews up there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And that is important to note. It was last week. It's not breaking news, but it is news so far that Ridley is expected to go ahead and miss the rest of OTAs and all the offseason workout programs. He should, though, be good to go for the start of training camp. And so that's what, of course, Arthur Smith said to the media, I believe on Friday or maybe even Saturday. It was, hey, listen, we know Ridley's going to be out. He'll be around the team, just not able to go ahead and participate in offseason activities. And so he's going to be sidelined for a little bit here, but the expectation is he should be good to go by the start of the first week of training camp. Now, with Ridley gone for at least the next couple of weeks, and then, of course, Julio Jones gone as well, this gives even more precedent to Russell Gage suddenly becoming the number one pass catcher on this football team, at least for the time being. And Russell Gage understands this and was asked about it by the media last week, and I think gave a really good answer that I think shows that Gage knows what he's stepping into going into the 2021 NFL season. Here was Russell Gage on the new role post Julio Jones and now post Calvin Ridley for a couple of weeks. Quote, I understand my role has increased, but I'm ready for it. We're going to keep moving forward. There's no better teacher than the game. Being out there and taking those reps really helped me to settle in and settle into those spots, the Z or the X or whatever it may be. I'm going to take a lot of that stuff and carry it over into this year. Being the same page as Matt Ryan, understanding what Coach Arthur Smith wants is big. Those things come hand in hand, end quote. Now, let me say this. Russell Gage was a number 3 wide receiver last year going into 2020. However, he emerged as the real number 2 because Julio Jones missed 7 games. During those 7 games, Gage took full advantage of getting the number 2 slot in terms of the reps at wide receiver. Look at these stats. He had 72 catches last year for 786 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's pretty darn good for a number 3 wide receiver. And again, Julio was on the football field for 9 games, and so there's a chance that with a full 17-game season coming and no Julio Jones and really being the number 2 behind Calvin Ridley, Gage can be even better than expected. I'm not worried about Russell Gage at all. The only thing I am worried about from a wide receiver perspective is the other guys. Olamide Zaccheaus is someone I'm like, can he be anything more than a special team / deep ball guy? Frank Darby. I mean, here's the deal on Frank Darby. Darby's a 6th-round draft pick that people have automatically assumed was a steal in the draft and is going to be an instant impact year 1, and that happens every single year where fans find a guy who was taken either undrafted free agent or later on in the NFL draft and they just assume he was a steal. This does not guarantee, I think, that Gage is going to go ahead, that Darby is going to go ahead and be good. And so I really am expecting and hoping that Gage takes over as wide receiver number 2, and then somebody else, whether it is Darby or Zaccheaus or Christian Blake or somebody from that, lesser wide receiver perspective, assumes a number 3 spot in order to go ahead and give Matt Ryan plenty of weapons. Also, they did draft a pass catcher named Kyle Pitts. You might have heard about him. He's not a wide receiver, but he will still be a big-time part of the offense to go ahead and pick up the slack left by not only Ridley being out in the next couple of weeks, but obviously Julio Jones as well. I'll finish with this question. What's your confidence level in Russell Gage going into 2021? How do you feel about it? I feel really good. I mean, 72 catches last year is nothing to look down upon. It's almost 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. PPR league and fantasy football, that wouldn't have been that bad as a flex option or a wide receiver number 3. I say my confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 is probably at like a 7. And that's just to make sure that he can, fully take over the number 2 spot. But I feel pretty darn good about his chances of being a pretty good wide receiver and at least a number 2 in Atlanta this year. Give me your thoughts, though, on your confidence level for Russell Gage here in 2021. Ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. Quickly, though, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed. So a little test here. If you're still watching the video, and I appreciate you guys staying all the way till the end, type Y down below for yes if you are a subscriber. Type N down below for no if you are not, which basically means you're a loser, right? So if you are not a subscriber, type N, cone of shame. You know how it works. If you are a subscriber, type Y down below for yes. I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, go down below and help us out because we're trying to get as many subscribers as we possibly can. Again, Ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.